asking. All right. So, what did you prepare for today's lesson?
I read the hypersonic weapon.
Hypersonic. Hold on. Let me just. Hypersonic weapon.
Yeah.
All right. Can you tell me what this article talks about?
Yes. This article
Hmm.
is talk about the new weapon, and the Russia made a new weapon, which is um, hypersonic weapon, and it is very powerful compared to the just normal missile.
Hmm.
And they made this weapon to um, to prevent attacks from the USA.
Right.
Mm-mm,
What's
yes.
special about it?
Um, the special is that the Russians' new hypersonic missiles reach a mere 62 miles above the planet's surface.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. And yes.
So this is far better than what Americans have.
Mm, oh well, mm, I think it is much better. Um, because it is a piece of. I'm not sure. Do you know what it is?
All right, because according to
Mm-mm,
paragraph number two,
mm-mm,
it bypassed America's ballistic missile.
mm,
So perhaps this is way better
mm,
than America's defense system.
mm,
Right? All right. So for you, do
mm-mm.
you think it is necessary for a country to develop this kind of weapons?
I think that when I think about just benefits of my country, our country, then I think that the missile or nuclear would be necessary. But when I think about the whole country, like the peace from the whole country, then I think that the missile or nuclear is not so necessary. We had to stop making those kind of weapon for the peace.
Okay, so let's go back to thinking about your country.
Mm-mm.
Why is it necessary for your country to have such, or for our
Um,
country to have such?
because the first of all, if we have a nuclear war, the very good weapons in our country, then um, I think that the other country will be afraid of that those kind of the weapon, and they are not going to attack our country first because they know how dangerous the weapon is. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as far as I know, the North Korea already have the nuclear.
Yes,
So
right.
yeah, so if there is a war in the future, then mm, mm, yeah, then I think that we also need those kind of the very powerful weapon.
Great, absolutely. Especially if there is going to be World War III, right?
Mm-mm. Ah, yeah.
Yes, but I hope it's never going to happen.
Mm-mm, me too.
Okay. So in your country, have you ever heard about news for development of military weapons or defense systems?
Military weapon?
Mhm.
about the military weapon. Oh, well, I'm not familiar with the military weapon, but I saw a lot of the news from the North Korea. Like they practice to launch the missile,
Mhm.
and I heard that when it comes to the missile, if they want to explode the soul, and they can um they can exactly explode the soul because um how can I say that the per side
Per side.
uh mm, because the function of that missile is very good. So
Uh-huh.
if they just want to focus on the soul, and they can send that missile to only soul. So
Ah.
yeah, it is very difficult to explain.
So,
Yeah.
so it can have a specific location or
Yeah,
target.
specific location and target, yeah. So that's
Mm.
why the USA is really worried about like the missile, because if the North Korea want to explode the USA, like um the one of the city in America, then they can do
Mhm.
this. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, we have. Do you think there is or there are international laws about the development of weapons?
The loss.
Mhm.
Mm, well, I don't. I think mm, international laws.
Mhm.
Mm, I think they have. Um, because like whole country need to worry about that the new weapon,
Right.
and of course if of course the weapon who made this weapon, if our country made this kind of the weapon, then the Koreans don't need to worry about it. But however, the Japanese or the Chinese, they really need to worry about it. So they
Mhm.
just want to talk about the weapons. They needed to talk about the weapons, whether we can make a weapon or not.
Right. So for me, I think
Mm-mm,
there are international laws about that governs the making of nuclear weapons or any
mm-mm,
other weapons.
mm-mm,
However, the implementation is not that good. That is why other countries
mm-mm,
can do advanced weapons for war,
mm.
right? Do you agree or you think I'm inventing?
Sorry, can I get your question again?
Do you agree with
Mm.
my thinking or
What thinking?
that there are international laws out there, but the
Uh-uh.
implementation is not that good? That is why other countries can create advanced
Uh,
weapons.
oh well, but as far as I know, I heard that like
Mhm.
there are the specific country who join the specific the meeting groups.
Mhm.
Then they cannot make a nuclear or the missile because they just promise for the world peace. But
Mhm.
however, I know that the Russia is not a member of that joint.
Mhm.
So I think that it would be very difficult to make a weapon because we promise each other, and And also there is a special the special like company or special group who are going to inspect,
Monitor.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
monitor the whether that country are going to make a weapon or not. Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe we were talking about United Nations.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, United Nations. Yeah, I think Russia.
Mm-mm.
I'm not sure. Is North Korea included?
No, no, no.
No,
They
they are
already
not.
have a nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so USA like presidents try to make the North Korea to join that group. But
Mhm.
if the North Korea can join that group, then needed to um, they needed to remove and they needed to take the all nuclear away. But they don't want to
Mm.
do this.
Okay. They are being encouraged by Trump to join United Nations,
Oh yeah,
but then again, the
mm,
consequence is for them to give up their nuclear weapons.
yeah.
Oh, I see. How is the situation between South and North these days?
These days,
Mhm.
as far as I know, um mm, we are not that close, and
Mhm.
we have a different opinion about the something like specific specific articles. So
Mhm.
mm, yeah, we are not that close, and the still North Korea disagree about the USA president saying,
Mhm.
like they try to make North Korea give up their nuclear, but however the North Korea disagree that.
Okay.
So yeah, because of these reasons, we are not that close. And a few days ago, like Korea president wanted to make the reunion, like the family reunions
Family
between
reunion?
between South and North Korea, because we already like some people already have a family in North Korea.
Mhm.
So our president want to make them meet together, like
Uh-huh.
just for 2 hours or the 3 hours, like family new reunion meeting. But however, North Korea disagree that.
What could be the reasons for doing so?
Because I think that um, the North Korea president don't want to make
Mhm.
the people to know about the other country's lifestyle. So
Ah.
that's why they cannot use the internet.
Uh-huh.
They cannot make like KakaoTalk Messenger, or they cannot do the SNS. Mm-hmm.
So they are absolutely being banned from the
Mm-mm.
outside world.
Yeah. So
Mm.
also they cannot go abroad for traveling or
Mhm.
studying. Mm-mm.
Mm. I see. Yeah, I once watched a documentary
Mm-mm.
about how life is there, and I
Mm-mm.
think I cannot live in that kind of
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, but in there, I have one of my friends and who escaped from the North Korea, and she
Hmm.
told me that like the 90% of the North Koreans um they don't know the what a lifestyle it is in another country. So they think that this is very um
Normal?
nature, yeah, normal.
Ah.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Okay. So they think that their way of living is the same as any other people's way.
Yep.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get to know this person, and how did he or she escape from the north?
I met her in my second major. My second major is North Korean studies. So
Mm.
I met her in that class. And so I had a lot of time to listen to what North Korean culture is. And she escaped from the North Korea. The way is that she had to go to the China first, and
Oh,
from China to Korea. She was able to come to Korea from China.
by boat, small
No, no,
boat,
no.
or
For the probably I don't know, but I didn't have a chance to
ask.
listen. Yeah, but
I see.
mm-mm.
So you have been studying about North Korea for quite some time now.
Sorry.
You said that you've met this person for your class about North Korea, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been studying about North Korea?
I just studied about North Korea for 2 years, and now
2 years.
I'm graduated from my university 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I already forgot something.
You forget you forget some of the details already.
Yep.
Do you happen to know who or how do they create weapons, nuclear weapons in North Korea?
Who you mean?
And I mean, how do they create, or
Oh,
who are the
well.
people doing it?
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. But I think that there is a special, like the special place, like in the mountain. So
Mm.
in the mountain, they were able to try to launch the missile, or not for nuclear, but in that place they practice a lot. Mm, they try to launch some weapon.
Right. So, do you have an idea what that place look like? I mean, because if
Mhm.
there's a lot of activities like that,
Mm-mm.
then that place could be a dead land, right?
Mm. Oh, but I don't have any idea about what place looks like. Mm.
You haven't seen that during your classes before.
Yeah, because mm, like if the people know that place, like
Hmm.
which have the nuclear, then I think the USA president want to explode that place, or to try to remove that place. So I think that the place is very secret for them. So we
Ah,
even don't know where it is or what it looks like.
I see. So even in studies, it's really hard to dig in about North
Mm-mm.
Korea.
Yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, moving back to our main topic,
Mm-mm.
do you think if there could be another war, world war,
Mm-mm.
which country do you think will have the best weapons?
Uh, which country has the best weapon?
Yes, if there, not that I am praying for it, but just in case it will
Uh-uh.
happen,
Oh.
what are the most powerful country for you?
I forgot that, but aside from the North Korea, there is another country who has very powerful weapon. I forgot the country. But I think that in these days, in
Mm-hmm.
this world, like the country who has the nuclear would be very powerful.
Right.
So I think that North Korea or other country who has a nuclear. Mm-mm.
So the
So,
nuclear weapons is the symbol or
mm,
the symbol of their power.
yeah, so that's why North Korea don't want to give up the symbol of power.
Even though it's this a small country compared to America and Russia, right?
Mm-mm. And
Yeah.
I
Okay. Now it's your.
also, yeah, yeah, I also heard that the North Korea got a lot of the monies or got a lot of the foods or the products from the US and Korea because we just try to make them to give up their nuclear. So, hello?
Yes. Hello. I can hear a lot of noise. Are from maybe an airy sound from your side. You were saying about food for giving up. Oh, hello. Okay.
Hello?
Now that's better, but there is still a bit of sound on the background or noise. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
What happened? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, I cannot hear you.
Hello?
Now I can hear you. Right. So what were you saying earlier? Giving up, they tried to convince giving up their nuclear weapon, but uh, oh, I cannot hear you again.